Hey, good to see
We're
you.
back.
We're back. Man, that shirt is getting old. So is mine.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, look, it's an elephant, though. Guess where I was, Cole? Can you read that?
Namibia.
Yeah, Namibia. Good job. Excellent. Hey, I was driving the other day and I was reminded of a story that I really enjoy of yours, and I thought it would make for a good discussion today. So, tell the story of the first submission that you made to Lenswork, the greatest hits.
Well, the submission guidelines for lens work are pretty simple. They were back then, they were really simple. And it was basically send 15 to 40 images or something on a single subject. And then it had in my mind these big cap letters, do not send us your greatest hits. That's how I remember it. And I remember thinking to myself that he's never seen my greatest hits.
I love that.
So off they went, just a completely diverse body of work, no relationship between any of the images. And they came back very quickly with this. And again, in my mind, a handwritten note that said, pick one image and send me 15 on that subject. And that was the kick I needed to begin my very first portfolio. I had never done one. I had always resisted because I'm a rather impatient person and I don't like being focused. I don't like being told what to do either. So
Yeah,
if
no
somebody's
kidding.
telling me do one thing. So that was how I began my grain silo portfolio, which was my first portfolio to appear in Lenswork.
Interesting. So it's a great story. I love that story because I just love that you had the audacity to say that you've not seen my greatest
Yeah,
hits.
they were special.
And I'm sure everyone was fabulous, but it just cracks me up now that I've known you for years, it's so you.
And
It's,
now I love doing portfolios. I
I
hate it
know,
when
I
I
know.
don't
Okay.
have one.
So the next question is, how long does a portfolio take?
Takes as long as it takes.
Yeah.
I've got one that I did in an hour and 45 minutes. I've got one that I did in 12 hours. I've
Wow.
got one that I did in 9 months, the grain silos. And I've got some that I've been working on for years. And I think
Interesting.
that was another reason I never embarked on a portfolio. I thought portfolios took a lifetime, years, and I just didn't have that kind of patience. So I
Uh,
just never bothered.
so how do you pick a portfolio?
Well, there's all kinds of portfolios. The easiest one to do and the least favorite of mine is a location,
Hmm.
Death Valley.
Okay.
And it's tied together by Death Valley. And they can be diverse images, but it's tied together by they're in Death Valley. I like to do ones that are more, I don't even know the right words for them, but they express something more than a location. I'm not good with words. Brooks would be
Maybe
great here.
a more refined, more
Yeah,
targeted.
yeah.
Not
Like
the right word. I know.
my lone man.
Yeah.
You know, it's talking about solitude,
Okay.
isolated, talking about isolation. And then there's ones, and truthfully, I used to carry a list in my pocket for years with ideas and I'd jot them down. And I found that never did one of those ever take shape, take form.
Interesting.
They were too planned. And recently I had an idea called In a Box. And I started to plan it in my head and it became too planned. And I found that I lost my passion for it.
Hmm.
For me, they're always ones that just hit you
Uh,
and you just start running with it because it's just done out of passion and out of conviction. And so the pre-planned ones, I see some people, they plan it out and they write down what the shot will look like, and almost like on a storyboard for a movie, and it's very planned. That takes the spontaneity and the passion out of it for me.
for you, I've heard you say that when I have or somebody has asked you, how do you pick these? You always have said in the past, they pick me.
Yeah,
All of a sudden you'll just have inspiration and go,
yeah.
oh, hey, this is exactly so it sounds like sometimes or maybe more often for you, it's that you've made a photograph, and in that photograph, that at that moment you go, harbinger, Got it. I wonder, although that was a bad one, because I remember you saying that'll never happen again. How many times
Yeah,
will you see a lone cloud, and then you
yeah,
realize they
yeah.
happen all the time. But that's essentially what's happening is you're finding a subject matter that all of a sudden connects in some way, and then you go, hey, I'm going to make this a
And I have
portfolio.
to act on it quickly because for me, if I start planning it out, it takes the spontaneity out of it. I remember the first ceiling lamp that I saw in Akron, Ohio, at a hotel lobby. I remember just being fascinated. I'm standing in their lobby waiting to check out, see that lamp, push the table out of the way, lay on the floor, and I just started shooting lamps.
Yeah.
3 years later, I come back to that same hotel to visit my mother again in Akron, Ohio. Why
Yeah.
else would you go to Akron, Ohio? Sorry,
No,
Akron.
nobody would go to Akron.
No. And I was stayed at the same hotel. And I couldn't wait to get into the lobby to see that lamp. And I go into the lobby, I see the lamp, and I go, huh? I don't get it. If I would have seen it on that day,
Yeah.
it meant nothing to me. But for some reason on that other day, it struck me and I ran with it.
Isn't that's interesting in and of itself?
Yeah. The
So
vision
crazy.
changes, our moods change.
It's so crazy.
So, yeah.
And that
So
I would
just,
dare say that's vision at work again, right? That day, your vision was in touch with that lamp, and on a different day, it wasn't. And that's why it's so important to be paying attention to what turns your head, to what makes you say wow, to all those things I like to talk about and act on that. I remember Tony
yeah.
Sweet showing some good images of a four-season thing down in the Smokies of this great barn and this foliage, and he's showing him. He goes, here's my fall one, here's my spring one, here's my winter one, and then he says, because I didn't act on it, here's my whatever one I missed, the winter one, the summer one. Well, the barn had fallen down, and so he
Oh,
didn't, never had the summer version of it because he didn't act on it. So that's another good point, is we need to act on those things that we're being taken by, and run with it right away.
and
Well,
there's
this
another topic. Always stop, but let's talk about that next time. But I do find that I have to act on it quickly and then pursue it. If it's really tickling you, do
yeah,
it right away. At least for me.
absolutely. Well, this has been a good day of recording, even though
Okay.
people think it's been weeks. But
Now
hey,
you're heading off to Italy, right?
I'm heading off to Italy. Maybe we can find one more time to do a few more, but or we
Okay.
can maybe even do some from Italy. But it's been fun to connect again, and we're going to be in the Faroe Islands in a few months
Not too
too.
far.
Totally
Coming up
excited about going back
with
there
that
again.
doggone Roxanne. Gee.
Roxanne is good, but Ariel will not be there.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Okay,
we'll talk with you
folks,
soon.
take good care. Hey, good
Bye.
luck with those grandkids.
Okay.